Hey, what's happening, Roland? Well, I want to tell you what's happening. Look at this. We're out here. It's a Friday, and look at these big giant bass. Look at that one. How big is this one? It's almost 9 pounds. And look at how big is that one? Seven something. This is the biggest trophy bass I've seen all week. And look at they're hitting shiners like crazy. I'm telling you what, folks. What do you think of that?
That was awesome.
Huh?
That was fun.
What now you didn't expect to catch but a 4 or 5 pounder,
No.
and all of a sudden now you're a pretty good fisherman. You've been fishing for a long time,
Right.
and but now that's her first time, and she's caught these giant bass, and we've both caught fish, and everybody's happy. What a giant fish! I tell you what, folks, we're on Headwaters, and this is a catch and release lake. We just caught these at 9 pounder and at 7 pounder, so let's go ahead and let them go. That'd be a good deal. I'm just going to hold the camera right here. There's the 9 pounder going back in the water. And then, okay, Cindy, you'll go ahead and release your that 7 pounder. I think that's a good one. Oh yeah, there he's swimming away. Look at that, look at that. I think there's another fish on is there a fish on that one there?
This one here. Yeah.
Well, go ahead and reel it in. I think there's a fish that you just got another one going on it. I think go ahead and see what happens. See if that fish is on there. I think you had one on. No, I guess he got off. He got off. He got off. Well, I tell you what, Cindy, if you could come here, I'm going to give an update of the week of all the other fishing I've done. If you could hold this camera real quick, and I'll tell you what, it's just kind of a hard deal. You can't touch the screen, and just hold it like that. Okay, just don't. It's still in a square little box. Yeah. Okay, I'm just sit down, and I'm just going to kind of talk about what's happening. But this week, I just got back from my cast last week, and it's been a stellar week. This is the third week. It's actually the last week. It's the 26th of July. And who would think that the 26th of July is a good time to fish? You saw those giant bass, and all week we've had giant bass. It's mainly been a shiner deal, but this morning, Marty, we started off, and you had one almost 5 pounds. They had another even bigger, hit a frog, and we caught 3 or 4 more. We've caught like 10 bass on artificial bait or something like that, and another bunch of bass on these shiners. So here it is, the end of July, hot weather, and it's not really that hot. It's kind of cloud cover. I got the long sleeve shirt on. It's kind of wet, and actually, I'm kind of quite comfortable. It's not a bad deal. But that was 2 days ago. We caught another bunch of bass, almost as big, not quite as big as what we caught today. Today are the biggest bass we caught all week, and both Marty and Cindy they've just done really great. So that's a really big deal. But we've had like 40 bass 2 days ago. And the day before that, I went out with Tom Jackson. Now, you know Tom Jackson, he lost his house in a fire. And Tom's a country singer and artist, and he has that song called, let's see, I Want to Fish, yeah. Anyway, it's just a fan thing. He sung the song as we were fishing out here. It was really cool. And we also caught some 6 and 7 pound bass and 5 pound bass. It was really a good day. And then the day before that, I had another guide trip. Last Monday, and it was about another 40 bass day rather, with some 5 and 6 and 7 pound fish as well. So, hey, Headwaters is alive and well. Fish are biting like crazy. Oh, hey, Cindy, what's the second say? How many times? How many minutes is that?
3:33.
Huh?
3:33.
3:33. It's not. I like to go a little bit longer. But anyway, folks, you can also come down and book me. I'll be here on Headwaters most of the time, but also this fall I'll be fishing some on Lake Okeechobee. And to get a hold of me and take a guide trip out, you can get a hold of Judy M at fishingwithrolandmartin.com, and we can arrange a trip. Most of that work is booked through the internet, so it's really a good deal. I have this 2072 tracker boat. It's a really wide boat, and with it, if you notice, the trolling motor is just all by itself. That's the new Move trolling motor by Power Pole. You notice it's all moving by itself. It's holding in position with the GPS coordinates, and I'm out in the middle of this little pond, and we're catching fish over the left and right, or right and left, and it's really something. I got more shiners in this little box right here. If you notice in that box, there's shiners there, and then I have more shiners in here. And even these dead ones. Here's another thing. I'm saving those dead shiners that we've already caught some bass on, and I'll put them on a float, and it's just unbelievable. Some of these shiners right here that I have, for example, I have a rod right here with a shiner on it, and it's a dead shiner. It's not even alive. But you know what? these fish, they get in kind of a frenzy. I don't know if they're just hungrier this time of year or not. That old shiner, look at this thing. It's all white looking and dead. And I take a 6/0 circle hook. That's the requirement right now, using a circle hook. I get a little weight on there, little weight, and this is a clicker reel, and I'll throw it out there in this little clicker, and I'll show you what I do. I get it out there at the edge of the channel. There's like a 15-foot edge right there with some grass, and I'll throw it up into like the 10-foot water, right about there, to say 10 foot. I'll let it sink to the bottom, and I'll put it in these rod holders. It's really cool. I'll just turn it like this, and I'll put the rod in the rod holder like this. I'll put the clicker on. I put the clicker on, and you can hear the thing click. So as it takes off, we got the thing. The other combination is, of course, a float. And while we were doing and showing you those big giant bass we just caught, a fish was running with our float. I don't know whatever happened, but he was on for a second. And the float deal's all right too. How we fish the float is just a little bit different. We're taking a live shiner in this case, and we're suspending it on a 6/0 circle hook again. That's a float, of course, like we had, 65-pound braid. And I'm throwing to the weed line. I'm just going to make a nice long cast to the weed line. Okay, he's right there to the weed line. And I'll put that reel in click. And again, when it's in click, you can hear it, okay? Now, here's the problem with shiner fishing right now, and that is they don't always have the hook. And the biggest problem that Marty's had, and the biggest problem that Cindy's had, is when you reel up on the fish have the shiner, but the hook's out here outside of the mouth, and so we're missing a whole lot of them. And what you have to do is you kind of pull, and if you don't have them, stop, and then maybe they get it again. But we're catching them nevertheless. It's done pretty good. So that's kind of our method of operation right now. Shiner fishing is really good. Now for the lures this morning, that's the other thing. I want to show you what Marty did. Marty caught a couple of nice ones on this frog, and that's the Spro frog. And that's the Spro 60. And what Marty was doing, I'm a little far off the weed line right now. That's a 50-pound braided line. But what you did, you had a couple nice ones to hit, Marty. You really did. I'm throwing really far right now. I'm actually farther out than I should. This is just an experiment. I'm letting it sit a little while. And what Marty did for one big 5-pounder that hit it, he lost it. But just kind of working it slow and easy. Just kind of twitching it, letting it lay there for a while. Not hitting it, not working it real aggressively. Just working it kind of slow and easy, and pausing a lot. Boom! All of a sudden, whoosh! Big old 4, 5, 6-pounder. Anyway, that was a good one that Marty had. Anyway, that's kind of what's happening right now at Fellsmere and the stick marsh. And the stick marsh is another system. And I know you've heard of the stick marsh. You've heard of Farm 13. You've heard of Garcia Lakes. That's all part of the St. Johns River Marsh, and that's where we're fishing today. This is all the headwaters lake of the St. Johns River Marsh. So if you want to catch some really quality fish like you saw us catch today, like in this case, Cindy hadn't ever caught a big bass, and she caught a trophy bass today, trophy bass, and so is Marty. He's done really well. So we're only started. We're just a couple hours into the day. We're gonna catch some more bass today. So folks, come on down. We'll see you again soon. And hey, listen, hit that likes button, because I tell you, these people that sponsor me, the O'Reilly's and Bass Pro Shop, and all the fine people at Frog Togs and everybody else, they just go crazy when you see those likes. And the YouTube is a big deal for a lot of people. And what I'm trying to do is just show you how a few of our techniques on how to catch fish, and get you excited about trying to come down and fish with us down here in Florida. Hey, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.